Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. And in this video, I want to show you guys some loot from Trials of Osiris and also the Lighthouse. Now, I've actually been out all day today recording some stuff for you guys that'll go live on the channel next week, but 269 successfully made it to the Lighthouse with Willis Gaming and also with Zupa, so I thought I'd show you guys the loot from 269. Now, before I actually get into that, I also want to give you a quick rundown of how things have changed this time around, because of course, Trials of Osiris has finally made its return today, so there's a couple of little changes you're going to want to know about. If you guys do find this helpful or you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated. But let's dive in. So first of all, the most important thing, before you can actually enter into the Trials of Osiris, you're going to need a Trials Passage. Now, of course, just like last time, you would always buy this from Brother Vance. However, this has differed slightly this time around. You still pick it up from Brother Vance, but instead of actually selling boons like it did last time, you actually get the boons from the passage itself, and you actually have to buy these before you start. So one of the tactics we used to do last time was, say, get about halfway through the actual Trials run. Once you've got like 4 or 5 wins, you then go back and you buy your boons. You cannot do that this time around. You have to go to your passage down here, and you go and inspect it, and from there you have 3 different slots. You of course have your Mercy of Osiris, you have your Favour, and you also have Boldness. These have to be purchased before you begin the Trials. The second you begin Trials, you cannot purchase any of these, so if you decide to buy only, say, 2 of these are then locked in, and once you begin, that is what you've got until the end of your run. So do bear that in mind if you guys are wondering where the boons are. This is where you buy them, and you need to make sure you do them before you go. On top of that, there are also bounties this time around, so whereas last time there would be sort of packages here that you would actually better buy depending on the number of wins you've got, this time around they are simply bounties, and upon completing them and opening them up, they will still give you a reward. The actual bounties or the packages this time around can give you some items, but they also tend to give you things like legendary marks and a few other things like that. However, throughout the tournament itself, you will also get armor drops. So I think after our 5th win, I actually also got some boots myself. I did actually get the new set of the Hunter boots, you can see here. They're still the same model as last time, they've got a slightly different colour scheme, but either way, these are of course the new Hunter boots. But with that being said, that is the only thing I've got. I didn't actually get anything too exciting because I haven't quite finished my run yet. I'm on sort of, well, 6 wins and then we got a loss, unfortunately, so I need to start from the beginning. But let's now switch over to 269's Titan and take a look at his loot. So here is 269's Titan. Of course, I've kind of swapped around the gear a little bit to actually show you guys some of the items because some of them are not actually too useful. Let's start with the chest over here. This is, of course, some of the items that can drop throughout the actual fight themselves. But as you know, with the previous Trials gear, you have the kind of regular pieces that just sort of drop here and there. And you then have these sort of end game top tier pieces, and this is one of the lower tier pieces. This is one of the ones that of course drops down below 300, so of course you've got some usual perks here, intellect and of course strength. You've got auto rifle ammo or shotgun ammo, and then over here you either have void recovery, increased recovery for 5 seconds after taking void splash damage, or you have void armor. So this one here is not too special. We're going to go and put the old chest back on so you can actually return to his original light, and then we'll leave that one behind. Moving over to here, this is the new shell. This is, of course, the ghost shell that you can get in Trials of Osiris. Looks really, really cool. It's just kind of like funny. It's almost got like a crown on the top. I kind of like that. Of course, it's not the high enough level yet. This one's only 309, so need to infuse this one to actually make it better. But perks on this one are as follows. Again, you have intellect or strength here. You then have helium filament sensor or, of course, helium extractor. And finally, you have Hunter Bounty. So generate additional glimmer when killing hunters in the Crucible. So this is kind of like those Crucible ghosts. You know, of course, you'll get different ones for Titans, Warlocks, and Hunters. But either way, this little kind of like yellow fella here does look kind of cool. Looks sort of like a kind of happy ghost compared to, say, the previous raid one, which is obviously not too happy. Anyway, with that being said, moving on, we also have a couple of weapons here. So first up, this one here dropped throughout the actual kind of tournament itself for 269. This one is called the Inward Lamp. This is a scout rifle. And the main perks here, of course, you have full auto, and this one is actually really, really good. Willis was actually using this in our fire team when we were doing the most recent run through, and apparently it is pretty good in a Crucible. I need to check this one out for myself actually very soon. But also on top of that, you have Zen Moment, so causing damage with this weapon increases its stability. On top of that, of course, you've got fitted stock, rifle barrel, small bore, and then you also have OEG rifle scope, or the focus lens FLA5. So this one dropped a little bit above 300, but this is not Lighthouse loot. Lighthouse loot, however, is this one here. This is the Adept version of the auto rifle. Unfortunately, it is of course an auto rifle, which, while they are better than before, they're still not necessarily the kind of thing that you would take back into the Trials of Osiris just yet. But with that being said, you have persistence, so this weapon grows more accurate the longer it's fired, and then you also have counterbalance. This weapon has increased stability. Again, do bear in mind, unlike last time the Adept versions of these weapons did of course have elements, but as Luke Smith said, the notion of elemental primaries is a thing of the past, so these will no longer carry elements, so the Adept versions are simply stronger. This one drops at 315. They obviously have a black colour scheme to them, and of course they do have some different perks. Plus they do have this perk over here, Last Resort. This weapon handles and reloads faster when the wielder is the last living player on their fire team. So of course in the Trials of Osiris you do get situations like that quite regularly, so this of course will be slightly more useful than say something like a raid, but with that being said, again remember you will not get elements, so the adepts are merely stronger versions. And then the final item, of course can't forget this one. This is of course one of the new emblems. This is from the Lighthouse again. This is one of the cool new Trials of Osiris emblems. I definitely like this one. I think it looks a lot better than some of the previous ones. Some of the last ones they were kind of cool, but they were a little bit kind of minimalist. This one is definitely a lot more Egyptian themed in its design. Anyway, that is pretty much it. That was just a quick look at the Trials of Osiris loot, and also a quick note on some of the changes to the systems. If you guys have any questions, of course, let me know in the comments down below. But thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.